Hi Cancer. For this reading, we're going to be discussing what your soul is looking for when it comes to a soulmate. I feel like more times than not, we're not really clear on what it is we are actually looking for. And what helps us is, sometimes seeing it right in front of us by writing it down. I think some of us feel funny or stupid for doing it, so more times than not, we don't do these things. But it's so important to write down the things that you're looking for in a partner and the things the things you're willing, the things you expect and the things you're not willing to accept. And these things become your boundaries when it comes to a relationship, a healthy relationship, right? So sometimes more times than not, we forget about these boundaries and we end up going into these relationships, connections with no boundaries. So it's important to know what you're looking for with someone and actually sticking to it and not compromising that, because that's usually what happens. We end up falling for people and then compromising what it is we're looking for, and then we end up falling short because it's actually not what makes our soul happy. And that's what makes this journey hard, is getting in touch with our higher self, our truest self, which is, our soul. It's like, I think a majority of us never really fully get in touch with that part. I think our ego thinks for us the majority of the time, and we don't even realize that. And I feel like when it comes to love, this could be more than likely because of where Neptune is within your natal chart. So the planet Neptune is the energy that holds intuition, psychic abilities, as well as la la land. So it's like there's this fine line that you have to discern what's real and what's not real. Hold on, sorry, Kyla. Because depending on what aspects you have with Neptune, aspects meaning like the energy it holds within your natal chart. So I'm just going to give the same example I keep giving. Squaring. Let's say your Neptune squares Venus, and Venus is the planet of love, of beauty, aesthetics, money. All things sorry. All things beautiful. So we have this planet where, there's Neptune, where there could be some illusion. And then there's Venus, which is love, right? So if you have Neptune squaring Venus, you may be idolizing the person that you're in love with. So it's not to say that you're not in love with someone. Honestly, that could happen too. But there's definitely clouds, there's a fog, and usually this is what makes us stay in those relationships far longer than we should. Usually this is why we end up staying, is because we're inspired to understand what we can't comprehend, because we know that something feels right about this person, because when it's good, but when it's bad, right? But sometimes if that Neptune is squaring Venus, for example, you may just be focusing on those good things instead of the negative things. And those negative things may actually outweigh the positive things, but you may not be realizing that because of that Neptune energy. It really may be making you feel like, no, this is my person, this is it, like I know this for sure. But really there's like illusion there. Another example of this is like if your Neptune is squaring your Ascendant, which is your rising sign. So when you meet people, you may not be seeing people for who they truly are. You may be making wrong judgment calls about people. You may be assuming they're like this, they're like that, and then it's like they're not like this, they're not like that. And it's because there's this illusion, there's this cloud, there's this smoke. And it really just depends on what aspects you have within your natal chart relating to Neptune. So it's something really to consider, especially if you keep finding yourself in these repetitive cycles where it's just like You keep ending up in the same relationships over and over, but just with different people. But it's literally the same situation playing out, just with different characters. It's like your soul signed up for that. You're meant to learn a valuable lesson within that, but something's meant to change. So it's like, well, what's meant to change? Well, if you were in touch with who you truly are and what it is you really want out of somebody and what will make you happy, well, then you would know to like stick with that, right? You wouldn't be settling. Most people settle in this life. I'm sorry, that's so annoying. Hold on one second. Kyla, no. I'll give you this back later, okay? No. Okay, sorry guys. Sometimes we're under this illusion that, you know, we're never going to get any better, and that this person, you know, offers me this, that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, there's that fucking, the clouds, you know, the cloudiness that you're just not realizing is clouds. You're not seeing clearly. And that's why sometimes getting outside perspective can help us. Sometimes, you know, it's like you have to make a judgment call on that one. But yeah, so a few years ago, well, what I would do is every time I was dealing with a breakup, every time there was a breakup, I would always reflect. I was never that person who jumped into another relationship. I always wrote down the things I expected in the next relationship, the things that worked for me and the things that didn't work for me. And then, of course, I always forgot about them because I didn't stick to it. But in my subconscious, it's like it always stayed there, which is why I would end up breaking up with these people in the end, because it's like they weren't sticking to what it was I was looking for. But it's like I ended up staying longer because I didn't end it as soon as I saw all the red flags, the things that went against my boundaries. So I wrote, when I find someone who can make me laugh, smile, and who has very similar goals as mine and actually acts on them, then I have found my match. Someone who can challenge me in good ways and someone who accepts me for who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have then found my match. So when you figure out what it is you're looking for, what will make you truly happy, and not just your ego talking, right? Because it's hard to discern what's your ego and what's your higher self talking. But when you really reflect and you think back in your other relationships, like what worked for you, what didn't, it's like you can figure this out really quite easily, you know, like what works for you, what doesn't, where were you maybe not being reasonable or rational, and it's like what can you actually give in these relationships, and what things can't you give in these relationships, and where are you not willing to compromise. So again, I feel like what holds us back is when it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's bad. So it's like we stay because we're inspired to understand what we can't comprehend, because it's like there's something there. It's like, well, we must be meant to be together if we're doing, you know, if we're, I don't know, whatever makes, you know, you and your, you know, when you think back and you reflect about your past relationships and you're like, okay, well, I stayed, you know, I kept going back to this person before it was like done for good. It's like you kept going back because you thought maybe it could work out, maybe it could work out. But why did you stay? You stayed because it's like not only because the time you invested, but because there's something there, right? There's chemistry there. That person gets you, this person accepts you, or at least a majority of you. But yet there's still that little voice inside of you that's kind of like slowly, ever so like quietly telling you like, not gonna work, or just leave. So is that based out of fear, or is that based out of, because you know, like this just isn't gonna work long run, it's just not gonna work because we're not the same, we're just not the same, we don't share the same values, whatever the reason is. So what I want to do is I want to pull some cards. I want to see what would make your soul happy when it comes to looking for a soulmate. And then I want to pull some pictures that I took screenshots of, quotes when I had my first spiritual awakening back in 2016. And, you know, we'll see what comes out from there. And if reversals come out for that, we're not taking that. Okay, so let's get to it. What would make your soul happy in regards to a soulmate? What are you looking for? What is your soul looking for? Eight of Coins. Ace of Wands in reverse. Ten of Swords. The Star. Okay. Let people do what they, let people do what they need to do to make them happy. Mind your own business and do what you need to do to make you happy. The end. Okay. To be interesting, you have to be interested. Stay weird. The reason people awaken is because they have finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul. Okay, so what is your soul looking for within a soulmate, a partner? Eight of Coins, Ace of Wands in reverse, Ten of Swords, the Star. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Gonna channel. So I feel like I'm seeing your eye, and I feel like I'm seeing fortune, like the sign that's in our natal chart, which is the symbol for fortune, which looks like a cross, which is the energy that you would hold in regards to what you're passionate about, like your true passion is when it comes to working. So what are you looking for when it comes to a soulmate? Your soul? Seeing you hold a rose. But you're also wearing something that they wear at the labs to cover their face, like to protect themselves from chemicals. So wait, I'm gonna open my eyes. What are you looking for? So hold on. This is definitely what I'm seeing, because Eight of Coins is working at something. So it's like, instead of seeing the circle with the star, it's like I was seeing the circle with the cross in it, which is the symbol for fortune. So what are you looking for? What is your soul looking for? I'm going to say one of two things or both things. So apply the energy how you see fit. I'm going to say either passion in regards to your relationship. Honestly, I'm really not feeling that. I'm feeling more of like doing something together that you're both passionate about when it comes to work. Like working at something. So apply the energy how you see fit. It's either one of the two or both. This I felt like was the flower, like wearing some type of lab coat and something to protect your head, your face, all that, so you don't get I don't know, I guess hurt or something like that. So Ace of Wands, when it's straightforward, is going for something. but it's in reverse, so it's not going for something. So it's like, what does your soul want? So I saw you handing over a rose. However, it's like, oh, there's roses or flowers, whatever. And then I felt like something happened, like went into the sky. So okay, so this could be current energy, like wanting to do these things. Because it's like I'm not seeing the opposite. I mean, I am seeing this current energy, but when it comes to what your soul wants in a soulmate, it's almost like you don't want to feel like you can't be open, be free. You know what I mean? Like you are wearing something to protect yourself. That's not what love is about. That's not what anybody's soul would want. You don't need to do a reading to confirm that. So I feel like these are things that you want, but it's like it's the opposite right now or something like that. So maybe you have this, like maybe you're working at something, but it's not something you're passionate about. I'm not too sure. I'm a little confused with the reversals, to be honest with you. Because again, this is a reading based on what your soul wants. But let's move on and we'll see if we figure it out. Okay. I'm seeing a pyramid in the dark, and I feel like I'm seeing something on top of it, like another pyramid opposite. Ooh, the pyramid just turned into a fucking shark trying to bite the other pyramid. So there was two pyramids facing each other, kind of like a time thing, like a sand time thing. I don't know what those are called. So you had a pyramid facing the right direction, then you had a pyramid on top of it facing the opposite direction. And the pyramid on the bottom turned into a shark attacking the other pyramid. I feel like I'm seeing things the opposite of what you want or something, like, or the things you currently have, but it's like you want the opposite of that, something like that. Because this is not on what anybody's soul wants. A shark attacking another pyramid. So it's like, so two pyramids. So a pyramid is a higher consciousness, and then you have a pyramid which is facing the opposite direction, upside down. So lower consciousness. We have a higher I'm going to open my eyes. So we have a higher consciousness and a lower consciousness, which causes pain. This is why we're seeing the shark. So it's like you don't want conflict. I feel like you're having a hard time seeing hope or something like that, the way it's coming in. But it's like, again, this is like not what you would want. You obviously want a soulmate where there's, you know, the possibilities are endless with what you guys can achieve, right? I feel like I'm seeing a big ass empire state building, and it's the star card. Like I'm seeing something happening in the sky, like it goes wrapped up all the way in the sky, and all this energy is like coming out of it, and there's like a lot of light. Yeah, it's like the possibilities are endless. So hold up, this is so confusing. I want to see what this looks like when it's the opposite. So I'm almost feeling like these cards could be the current energy, where it's like there's no hope, wanting to heal, wanting to, you know, work at something, wanting to go for something, you know. But I feel like when it comes to this reading in regards to what are you looking for in a soulmate, it's like, well, this is what I'm picking up on with the visions. It's like fortune, not wanting to feel maybe getting burned. Maybe that's why. So maybe that's probably why you were wearing like protection, you know? So it's like you don't want to feel like you're going to get burned by giving a flower, you know? By giving yourself with your soulmate. So it's like you want to feel safe by putting yourself out there. You want to feel like you're not going to be attacked. And that there's hope for the future. To like the possibilities are endless. That's what I'm picking up on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go to these pictures now. I feel like I'm seeing buildings look at other buildings and they're turning into faces. So I feel like what would make your soul happy, you may compare, or you may look at what others do. Honestly, that's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing it not be worth it, because it's like it doesn't do anything for you. It would make your soul happy if you weren't looking at what others were doing and comparing. Like, just focus on yourself, and you're gonna see an energy shift. So maybe you could do this like in small like increments, you know, because that's kind of hard. It's probably something you've been doing for a long time. It kind of turns into an addiction, to be honest with you. So it's like you should just, you know, maybe take one day at a time. Like, okay, today I'm not gonna look at what others are doing, you know, something like that, or go on social media, and you're gonna see a difference. Like at first it's gonna, I'm gonna open my eyes. So I used to do this with social media. Like, I used to hate going on social media, and a part of me still does, where it's like, I don't care what other people are doing. So I'm like, why am I on here? And then I just get annoyed. I'm like, why the fuck why did I go on here? And it's not annoyed because I see that people are doing cool things. It's more just like, I'm genuinely annoyed because I think, and this is going to sound stupid because I know people definitely think this about me, but it's just like, I'm annoyed at what I'm seeing. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I don't care, like, so therefore it's like, I'm feeling this negative energy. When I get off social media, I'm like annoyed. I'm genuinely annoyed. So I feel like that can hold the same energy when you're comparing what other people are doing. I'm feeling like there's something about building, like you compare what other people are doing. I feel like this is why the business suit is coming in, and this is also something like you want to do, like your soul wants to do with people. So I don't know, that's just what I'm picking up on. So you're gonna have to hold that energy where you see fit, but like your soul is coming through us saying, like, give it a chance. Like, you'll actually be more happier if you don't look at what other people are doing. Like, don't focus in on it. Just focus on you. I know that's so straightforward, but it's actually really true. If you give it a try, you'll see it. And then I promise you, you'll never go back. You'll be like, I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing. Okay. Let's see. I'm so sorry about the background noise. Okay, I'm seeing somebody on stage, and there's like a big eye behind the stage, and somebody who was on the stage is getting off the stage, and there's a lot of light. There's some type of your Neptune energy is kicking in over here. I'm seeing clouds. I'm seeing through the clouds. I'm seeing teeth. Trying to see through the teeth, through the words. I feel like you have difficulty with this because it's like not. It's fucking hazy as fuck. Oh, cleaning this up. Like, this has to be cleaned. What do you look for what is your soul looking for in a soulmate? Oh, you're trying to clean your vision, like your intuition. Like, I'm seeing clearly, more clearly through the smoke. So I can't see. Okay, I'm gonna open my eyes. So, to be interesting, the reason people awaken is because they finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul. To be interesting, you have to be interested. I love her face. To be interesting, you have to be interested. So There's something up with this. I wasn't feeling this. Something up with, to be interesting, you have to be interested. I don't know if I'm really resonating with the to be interesting with this reading, but you have to be interested. I was definitely picking up on that. It's like I'm seeing like your eye, like a big eye, and it's used as like the background of a stage, and then there's a stage, and then there's somebody on the stage, and then they go down the stairs in front of everyone, and then there's clouds, and then I can see through the clouds. There's teeth, and I could tell like you're trying to see through words. And then I'm seeing like a brush, you know, like trying to clean up the clouds. So what is your soul looking for? To understand what is your soul looking for with a soulmate? To intuitively understand your person. Like you're trying to, yeah, just that. I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that. Just intuitively try to understand them, because there's difficulty there. All right, what is this? Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop. So the reason people awaken is because they have finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul. I feel like from what I was seeing, like what would make your soul happy with a soulmate is somebody who is open, like somebody who's like their heart is listen, what I was seeing was somebody pretty much like, you know, opening, like undressing themselves, I guess, and the message I felt was like showing their heart, showing their soul. So I feel like there's something deep about that that your soul is like yearning for within a soulmate. So it's like, if you get that, you don't really need to try to discern through people's words, right? Because they're just going to be showing it to you through their actions. Their words and their actions are just going to line up. It's just as straightforward as that. The reason people awaken is because they have finally stopped agreeing to things that insult their soul. So what would make your soul happy with a soulmate is somebody who's open. Pretty straightforward, right? So for this to come up and in the way it's coming through, I feel like this must affect your relationships. You may do like a compare thing. So I feel like you shouldn't do that. Like that's not healthy. It's not going to help. Because it looks like you're looking for that. Your soul at least is looking for that within a soulmate. So it's like, just focus on that, you know, because otherwise that is going to fuck with that. And it's like, subconsciously you're going to be competing. And it's like, the only person you should ever be competing is with yourself. Bottom line, you will always do better that way. I promise you. I'm seeing a higher consciousness. I'm seeing like healing energy. Like you don't want this. What is this? You know, you don't want this. You just want like a good, what is the word I'm looking for? Like stimulation, you know? You don't want to be attacked. I feel like you're just looking for what everybody deep down wants. An open relationship, like somebody who's open and honest. That's what I'm getting for you. So, you know, if you feel like you're not getting that, then, you know, you may be focused on this. We're inspired to understand what we can't comprehend. Well, are you giving that as well? You can't just expect that and not give that. Sometimes when we do that, it's out of fear. I feel like this was the reading I was getting, where it wasn't coming through 100% clear. It was a little dark because of fear. So it's like, you should look into that, you know, like, because if you give that type of energy, then you're just going to get it back. There's no way around it. You can't like pretend like you're the exception. You're not, you're the rule. So yeah, I would say that you're just going to have to, you know, surrender, right? You're going to have to just let go of that need to maybe not trust. And it's like, you're just going to have to trust if this is what you're looking for and this is what you want to get. You know, like you can manifest this, you can get this, but it's like you have to believe in it, and you also have to set an example for it as well, right? You have to be that energy. You can't just expect that energy. So I would highly suggest writing down the things you expect from someone, the things you're not willing to accept, and then, you know, see where you're at. And is this a repetitive pattern? And if so, why? You know, what are you doing to add on to this? Because it's not just always the other person. It's just not. So anyway, that's what I got for you. I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. All right.